Uh, yes, I do. I mean, shit. It's basically what you was just doing with Spencer and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they plug it, all their followers, man, they don't even care what it is. They just gobble that shit up. So
Um,
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Joe?
Good interview, man. I liked it with Spencer, as always.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna get him to join us.
Did you see my messages? I didn't know. Hey, George, what's up, George? See my messages? I said, if he doesn't join, I'll take his spot, and then we'll show him how I'm going to double up on my partnership.
Yeah, he'll join. He just needs a little bit more. He just needs a little bit more convincing. He's a busy guy, so he needs a little bit more. He needs a little bit more convincing. He hasn't actually had a chance to, and he's asked me a couple of times to sit down with him and actually go over everything and explain everything to him. And I just haven't had the chance to sit down with him and explain everything to him. So
sure, cool, good deal.
He doesn't have a choice now. If he doesn't join now, I'm going to hack his Facebook account.
That's good.
what's up, Joe? How you doing, man?
Good. How you guys all doing?
Good, bro.
John, is this going to be every Friday, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock for me?
Well, every Friday at 1, every Friday at 1 p.m. we have a meeting for the community, for the normal community. And sometimes it's a reporting meeting, like an accountability meeting. But then if I can bring in guest speakers like Spencer or Rachel or those types of guest speakers for PR, I bring those kinds of people in. That's one of the benefits that we sell for the community is we bring in guest speakers all the time to talk to us and tell us about what they do and help us out. And then our meetings will always be immediately after that meeting.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on my calendar as for forever kind of calendar, so it just reminds me. So that's good.
And we can have more meetings at different times as well. I'm gonna for the most part I'm gonna be available as much as needed for you guys. I don't know if you see my post, but I literally this week I sent out 13 letters of termination of services after 45 days, and I essentially wiped out like $90,000 a month worth of revenue so that we can dedicate full time to the partnership and to our endeavors here. So I got like another 45 days where I'm going to wean all my clients off of it. I've got one client that staffs 8 developers here, so I can't just like literally say, fuck you, it's done. I'm not servicing you anymore because it's going to be, they have to go in. I've been working with them for 2 years. I have to give them some time to go in and actually replace the developers that they rely on here, especially in case, for some reason, in case this partnership ends up going to hell. I don't want to, burn every bridge with every client that I've ever had and then not be able to, if this doesn't work out, go back to them and be like, sorry about that retarded shit I did before. Do you want to work together? You want to work?
Sorry, I just shit on you guys about 6 months ago, but hey, would you like to come on back?
Sure, and I'm sure this will work out fine, no issues. But I did want to do the professional thing and give them, a time to go in and actually replace the services they get from us from somebody else. So
sure, absolutely.
So if we need to have more meetings and at different times, I'm all for that. I've got no problem doing that. But this one will definitely have every week at this time.
Yeah, it's to everybody's interest in the inner circle to actually be on this or to at least see the replay within the same day so you can respond accordingly. This is what it is. It's a partnership.
That's correct. And there always will be in the units of the Facebook group, of the Inner Circle group, there is a unit just on Inner Circle meetings, and there will be a post on that unit for each meeting. And this is where This is where you can post any questions that you specifically want answered. Like you can see this one here. There, if you just go to the units in the Inner Circle group, there is a unit called Inner Circle Meetings, and this is where you'll find the replays of the past meetings. You know, you'll just be able to actually, here's the first meeting here, here's the second meeting here, this third one will be loaded up here, and then you can go in and ask any questions that you want to go over, that you want to specifically go over while we're on this meeting. So, and then you guys can ask any questions that you want as well. This is just additional time for you guys if you need help with anything, if you want to talk about anything, if you have questions or concerns, if you want to share wins with each other. Like I was going to kind of ask Maceo to share what he's been doing, because are you comfortable that you're making that now you're at a point where your monthly payment is covered every month now, Maceo, and you don't have to worry about this costing you anything out of pocket?
Yeah. So yeah, it's covered every month with some cushion, with enough cushion to, you know, some people drop out off of their monthly payments, and it's still straight. Yep.
So you just want to you want to educate us maybe a little bit on your approach and what you did, and take us kind of through step by step in case some other people could replicate it. I know some people don't have any financial issues, and I know there's several people in the group that can pay the monthly fee every month and not worry about a couple other people. They need to make their money back to be able to continue. So maybe you could help us out there.
Yeah. So the biggest thing really is taking advantage of those relationships that you already have. You know, especially with people who have a big audience. So, for example, like this Spencer guy that we just had the meeting with, you know, if he goes out and posts your products one time, tons of people are just going to buy it, you know, just off the strength of him, you know, being who he is and them trusting him. So basically that's what I did. I put a package together of with the 6 softwares, and got with a couple guys that I know are very respected in the affiliate world, and you know, they have some software of their own. And I just said, hey, do me a favor, go ahead and post this for me, and let's see what happens. So, you know, they posted it, and a couple other people teamed up and start commenting on it, and it just kind of blew up from there. So take advantage of those relationships. Don't be afraid to ask people to do you a favor, you know, especially if you have that build a relationship with them.
So you just made a bundle of the software. What was your price point on it?
So it was so basically the other thing too is take advantage of this Black Friday thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just want to spend money just because it's Black Friday. So I did a pre-Black Friday sale of for $37 for the software package of 6 and with monthly. So $37 monthly for this the whole package. And I don't know, maybe
you kept getting to sign up. Do you know?
So right now it's probably at about 25.
So you're more than double. You're more than double then.
Right.
Now, did you have to pay anything to these guys to help you out? Did you have to give them a share of anything?
I didn't at all. It's just I've had that relationship with them before. I've done things for them before, and you know, they were comfortable with me, and they were okay with posting that in their groups and posting that to the people that they are cool with.
That's kick-ass.
Yes.
Maceo, would you mind sharing that with us, and then we can put our links in and pass that on to people that we may know? Or you okay with that?
Yeah. So if you go to tier5apps.com, I pretty much just put together a website with all of the softwares on there. Just listen what they do, with John's videos for each one of them, and then at the bottom I had put all the prices for the platinum packages, and then under that just put the deal on there and said, you know, it's only available for the first 50 people that sign up, and after that it's gonna go away forever, and they'll never see a deal like that again.
I think it was. I think it was this. This was the post, right, that you're talking about. It was from.
Yeah, somebody tagged you on that actually.
Yeah, Tim Parker. Yeah, it was Gatlin. It was Tim Parker that did the post. There's a lot of response on there.
Yeah.
So you just leveraged the relationship that you already had to get someone to actually help you out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And that's just from me. And you know, he did it. And you know, I got some other people who would do the same thing, but they really did it because just over time, you know, I was always willing to help them out with anything that came up for them. You know, like I built the shit out of Divi websites like all the time. So you know, they ask me for something, I'll just throw them a bone. You know, and don't charge them anything. You know, but I knew it would pay off. You know, later.
For sure.
That's cool. Good job, man.
So you're good. You're covered then, Maceo. Now on to
What's that? You broke up.
I said, so you're good. You're covered. Your investment's covered. And you even got a little bit of profit coming in.
Yeah, because I know. I mean, just like all things, people get caught up in the hype, so it's going to be a few people that drop out.
Fine. No, it's fine.
Well, even you know, one of the reasons that I did my low price point, one of the reasons that I did my low price point $37 a month myself is because some people won't drop out of that price point because it's such a nominal price. Like $37 a month is such a low price that a lot of people won't even take the time to go for it because it doesn't financially hurt them. And like me. I have shit that I pay for $50 a month that I don't use, and I don't go cancel because I value the time that it's going to take me to go cancel it more than I value $50. So, like, to me, it actually costs me more money to go in and actually cancel something that's $50 a month because I value my time at $200 an hour. And if I gotta sit an hour to try to figure out how do I talk to these people, how do I get this shit canceled, then it's just not worth it to me. Fuck it, I'll just pay the $50 and not have to waste my time doing it. And then, because it's just $50. And I notice a lot of people that subscribe to my $37 a month plan, they don't even log into the software and they don't cancel. Like I've got people that pay me $47 a month for a bot course that doesn't even exist anymore, and they've been paying for 13 months, and the bot class doesn't even exist anymore, and they still pay every month because it is such a low nominal fee that is like they don't even notice it on their bank account when they're looking at shit. It's not like, I mean, especially if you target people who have excess money, those people are not so like penny pinchers where they have to look at every single thing. Oh, I need to save $15 this month. What can I cancel? They just don't care. They're just like, oh, okay, I'm wasting money over there. No big deal. Who cares?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, that's the same with like gym memberships and all of that. You know, people get those gym memberships and then they are afraid to cancel them because they don't think they're going to go to the gym, and they're not going to fucking go to the gym, but they still keep it.
For sure, because they might use it one day. And if you have an offer that's very limited and they know that they're never going to see that price again, then if they think that at some point in the future, I may use this stuff. I'm not ready to use it today, but at some point in the future, I may use this stuff. They're not going to cancel if they know, okay, if I cancel, if I'm paying $37 a month now and I cancel and then I decide I want to use this, any one single software is going to cost me $47 a month or $300 a month. They're just not going to cancel regardless of whether they use it or not, because they're going to be like, okay, if I cancel now and then I want to come back and use this later, it's going to cost me, 10 times as much for one single software where I have all 6 right now. Fuck it, I'll just keep paying in case I ever use it, and most likely they'll never use it and they'll just keep paying.
Yep. Absolutely right.
So leverage your relationships. Try to find somebody that has an audience already, that you have a good relationship with, that you've helped out in the future and will actually help you out. And just tell them about this opportunity that you have. Say, hey, could you help me out? Could you just share this with your audience? If the first person says no, then don't give up. Try the next person. If they say no, then try the next person. And if you try enough people, if you try enough people, eventually someone will help you. And those first people that aren't helping you that you try, what you should learn from that is if they're not willing to help you, it's because you yourself have not built a strong enough relationship where they want to help you, and that's kind of your fault. So, and what you could do is you can look and say, okay, that person won't help me now. What can I do in the future to like what I just did with Spencer? Now I can go back in tomorrow and I can ping him and I can talk to him, and he'll make much more time for me because I just created a captive audience for him. I just sent 1,000 people to his Facebook group, and I would say out of that 1,000 people, at least 100 people actually just went in and joined his group. So now I sent him a bunch of free traffic. Now if I come in and say, hey, Spencer, let's talk about my partnership and what it's going to take to get you to join, he'll be more apt to actually listen to me and take time because I've been working on building that relationship for quite a long time, actually. Actually, some of the key players in our group, like Catlin, Kevin Likas, those guys, I've been working on that relationship for a long time, and I've just been arbitrarily buying their stuff. Like Catlin, I've bought his solo ads. Kevin, I've bought his solo ads. And now, like, even whenever I talk to him, I said, hey, look, go sign up for my partnership. It's going to make you money in the long run. It's the best thing that you could do. And your first 2 months isn't even going to cost you anything because I've already bought $600 worth of your products. So it doesn't even cost you anything to join it. So join for 2 months. And then if you decide you don't like it, cancel it. It didn't cost you anything, but it helps me out enormously because I can put your face there that you're part of this. And just because you're part of this, now a lot of other people are going to want to come and join because they follow you and they listen to you. And they're going to be like, oh, shit, well, if Catlin joined, then it's serious. I should definitely get in. And that was literally my approach with a lot of these dudes is I followed them. I tag them all the time. Like, you guys don't understand, if you watch me in ClickFunnels, most of the people that I tag in ClickFunnels, they've never fucking done anything for me at all. Like, never. I just tag them arbitrarily to get their attention so that whenever I want to get something from them, they know who I am. They're like, look, that's this fucking crazy guy that keeps tagging me and saying that I'm helping him so much and I never actually done anything. What does this guy want? I'll talk to this guy. So just leverage the relationships that you have already.
And your skills. So, you know, most of the people in this group, you know, you guys have a skill, you know, barter that service, you know, offer that service up to somebody in exchange for sharing what you have available.
So this time is for you guys, though, for any questions that you guys have, any things that you want to talk about. We only have 2 questions. We only have 2 questions that are actually that have been asked on the unit for this particular meeting, and we'll go over those. Those will be the last thing that we go over whenever you guys run out of questions.
Hey, John, is the tier 5 stuff down for maintenance right now? Because I can't even get into the dashboard. I tried 3 times.
Yeah,
me neither.
It's all down right now. Like literally, our whole AWS account, they shut our whole AWS account. So I'm literally, as we're speaking right now, I'm trying to manage that. I'm trying to manage that. So yeah, it's down right now, and it will be back up in just a little bit.
Sure, no problem. Hey, can we establish one rule when we do a call like this, that if you're not going to be talking or anything, put your phone or your thing on mute, you guys, because I can hear like 2 other people talking in the background when I'm trying to listen to John or Maceo or somebody talking as well. I'd appreciate it. It'd be nice. Okay.
We could try.
We could try. I mean, I get it. We could try, but I want to listen to value and important shit. I don't want to listen to 5 people talking in the background. Sorry, hey, John. I'm just trying to be straight up. Sorry, guys.
Hey, John, it's Manir.
Hey, Manir, what's up, buddy?
How you doing? How's Kolkata doing?
Great. It's nighttime, but it's great. Manir's here.
I take it that's Ankita then.
Yes.
She's sleeping like always.
How are you? You good?
Sleeping. Doesn't mean I'm sleeping, John. I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's my first inner circle meeting, so be good with me.
So Munir actually came and visited us. He flew all the way to India to see if we was scamming him or not. He didn't know, are these guys real or not? So he flew all the way to India and spent like 5 days here with us in our office in India.
Absolutely, I loved it. This is an amazing thing. It's real. So yeah, now that I'm obviously in this meeting, my first one. So John, obviously I've missed a couple of these meetings that you guys have had. I have looked at it on YouTube, so I've kind of gotten up to date with it. I just wanted to ask a question in regards to the the discussion you guys were having in regards to like how would you say, the best practice in terms of the unlimited accounts thing. What's the situation? What did we agree or what with that?
There has not been a final agreement, and there's not been anything that's been finalized at all yet. So as of right now, you guys have in your dashboard, you have access to 1,000 accounts in your dashboard, and there hasn't been anything finalized so far. So.
Okay, well, that's great to know. Just for, I guess, our community, I was thinking about this over the last few days, and I have a suggestion. Of course, it's out to everybody. It's just a suggestion, but it's just something that I was thinking because, of course, for you have given us access to the 10 accounts prior to the funding target, which we now have, and then, of course, there was the arbitrary unlimited number. So my suggestion that I was thinking that what we could do, if everybody's in agreement to it, as a best practice towards what we can do with these accounts would be, you offered us 10 primarily so that we could try and get the cost of our $300 investment back every month, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what I was thinking is what do you guys out in the group think? That if we were to be able to do those 10 at the $1 a month and no more than the 10, so we achieve the objective that John provided, which is so we get the cost of our investment back every single month, so it doesn't cost us anything, and anything beyond that, so that we don't forget what the goal of our whole group is to generate revenue, is not to be able to do $1 a month or a free giveaway on anything beyond the first 10. Just a suggestion. Just give the feedback what you think to something like that.
I don't think we should change things unless there's a problem. We've all had 1,000 accounts now for X amount of weeks, and see, even with 100 members that have that, probably only 5% are actually going to do something with it. So I say if it's not broke, don't fix it.
What do you mean by don't broke, Ron? That we just give away, or we can do $1 a day for all 1,000 accounts?
What was the question?
So the suggestion was that we've got technically 1,000 accounts right now. We could, because John has given us the flexibility. One second, guys. The suggestion was that what we don't really want to do is, let's say for me as a community member, is to go out and just give all the softwares away free just because I can. Because what we then won't do is generate a revenue towards our community goal. So anyway, hence you guys in the last couple of meetings were discussing whether we should have unlimited, whether we shouldn't, whether we have 1,000, etc.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is if somebody abuses that, they should deal with it when it happens. Okay, I don't believe that they should make a rule before there's a problem. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does, then the individual member that does it, they could address that particular individual and tell them to stop or kick him out. But, you know, I don't think a lot of people are going to be happy if you give them 1,000, then take it away from them. I don't think.
No, sure. I totally get that. And that's why it's just a suggestion in the sense that we still have our 1,000. And my suggestion was only going to be, yeah, we've got 10. If we can give that away for $1 a day and we can achieve our 300 back, that's great. Beyond that, yes, we have a total freedom, I guess, and a flexibility to be able to do whatever we want.
Not a bad idea, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my feeling.
So okay. I kind of have an opinion on that too. I kind of agree that at some point in time there has to be some type of regulation put into place. Like, we can't stay unlimited forever, I think. But right now we have the opportunity, and John understands that we could do whatever we want right now, but right now we do all have the opportunity to do really whatever we want to do, and he knows that. So hopefully everybody can kind of, you know, make their money back, and then when that day comes and a regulation is put into place, hopefully you've taken advantage of, you know, the here and now, so that, you know, you'd be straight. But I think something should happen. That's just my opinion.
Well, I'll tell you what I think. So I do have a number. In mind, in my head, that I've actually already talked to one of my trusted business advisors with to see what they thought about it. And I do have a number in my head that I've thought of that I think is a very reasonable number that allows you to do exactly what I want you to be able to do. What I want you to be able to do is recoup your investment, so it's not a financial burden to you, so that you don't drop out of the partnership. My intention is not for people in the partnership to be able to make, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars by reselling software accounts for whatever price that they want on an unlimited basis. My idea on how people make money in the partnership is like a normal investor and any company would make, which would be from sharing the revenue that comes from the company as an aggregate. All right. That's how typical investment works. In a typical investment, you invest some money, and then for the most part, you don't do anything, and you wait for that company to be profitable. And as it gets profitable, you get returns on your investment. That's how investments work all over the world. All right. So the model here is exactly the same. Now, the goal with those agency accounts is so that you guys can actually go in and recoup your money and your investment. So mostly, and to be honest, because I like to be honest and I'll always be transparent with you, it's not so much from my perspective, because I give two fucks whether you make your money back or not, because I really don't. All right. The reason that I want you to make your money back is so that I personally can rely on you to pay your membership fee, so that I can run my company and not have to stress out on, hey, are people going to miss payments this month? And is that going to cause an issue in my business? All right. That's why I want you guys to be able to go in and recoup that investment, is so that I don't have this financial stress over my head. Now, why have I just not said anything and said, okay, let's leave it at 1,000? Part of because what Ron said. All right. If it's not fixed, or if it's not broken, don't fix it. And part of the thing is I haven't finalized all the legal documents. I'm in the process of doing that. And a lot of you guys, I don't fucking know from Adam, to be honest. And I don't know 100% of everybody in our partnership I actually want to commit to, and I want to actually be a partner, because I don't know what type of people that they are. So just like how I do in my company, what I do in my company with my employees is, before I try to manage them, I first observe them to see what is their natural tendencies, what are they naturally going to do. And that's the same thing I want to do with all my partners, is before I try to go in and set rules and limits and say, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. First, I want to observe you guys and see what you're naturally going to do, because from those natural things that you're going to do, before I put any rules and regulations on, I can easily gauge and see, okay, this dude's an asshole, and this dude I don't really want to be part our company and part of this partnership because they're not a team player. They don't care about anybody else. All they care about is themselves, and they're going to do whatever it takes just to make sure that they themselves have a one up over everybody else. And it's an easy way. Like if I look at your guys' accounts and I see one of you guys already has fucking 900 accounts that you've issued out on all the softwares, I could pretty much gauge that most likely you nowhere came close to selling those to what they're worth, and you're the type of person who would actually just want to abuse a system. So I like to have a little observation first. And then at the same time, it's not a dictatorship. It's really what you guys want and what you guys think is best. So and we haven't reached a consensus on that yet.
This is Dennis. I agree with John. It's a little premature right now to know exactly what should be put in place, and I think there's plenty for us to be doing in the meantime, such as making our individual sales and then building this company out. We'll figure this one out as it becomes an issue.
Yeah, I agree too. You know what, actually, the way I look at it too, John, you're like an advisor to us or to me. You know, I'm okay with how we set it up. My goal was to invest into this company. Hopefully this company, I'll tell everybody about it, and hopefully that people start buying the products, and we turn around, and what's the whole idea of making an investment? Is to make money on the back end anyways. So, John, I'm going to sit there and listen to what you have to say. I'll listen to what everybody else has to say, but at the bottom line, you're going to be given recommendations because you do have a business advisor that knows everything about your business. So I'm going to listen to what kind of, if you said, Joe, you're not going to get 1,000 anymore, you're only going to get 10, then I only get 10. That's it.
I would like to throw in my 2 cents that I agree completely with all that's been said. I would suggest that once we get to those reasonable limits, whatever they may be, that naturally there be a provision for that guy who is going after all the clients, and there be maintenance fees or whatever support fees need to go back to the platform to lend both to its profitability, but to the added stress on the infrastructure. And, you know, all the things that come with those growing pains and adding all those clients. But ultimately, the goal is for all of us to go out and get a bunch of clients and make this software mainstream. So naturally, provisions for that kind of growth need to be addressed along the way as we figure out these growing pains. But certainly, you know, should any of us be fortunate enough to have our own brands grow that significantly, it would be in all our best interest to contribute back to the infrastructure.
Sure, and the end goal, Kristen, is from my perspective, the end goal with all of you partners is for you not to have to go out and try to get clients, and for you not to have to go out and try to sell stuff. And literally, like, my goal with you guys is you guys facilitate us for 12, 18, maybe 24 months. You do have to do some work during that time period so that if you're financially burdened, this is not a financial burden for you. But once we reach a profitable limit, that you guys don't do anything, whatever the fuck you want to do, and you just get paid because you were wise enough and you took. I guess some people would call it a risk. I look at it, I know my track history and I know what I've done for the last 10 years. I've been in the software industry, so I look at it as a real risk-free opportunity because I know who you're working with. But from your perspective, there is somewhat of a risk there. So you guys take the risk and it pays off in the long run. And then in the long run, you don't physically have to do anything, but whatever it is that you actually want to do, and you still get a pretty hefty paycheck. That's the goal with all of you.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
And you know, for everybody, I kind of asked a question the other day that John had mentioned. There's 3 groups in here. There's the inner circle, there's the second group, and the third group. And John kind of laid it out. You know, the community group, correct me if I'm wrong, John, is the beta testers, the working horses. Those people got in for $100. Let them do all the work. We got in for $300. We are the ones that took that extra step. John, when I first came in, I came in at $100, and then I was trying to get it before it ran out. And then John actually took the time to talk to me for a few minutes and explain to me. And I turned around and said, you know what, John, refund my money back and let me buy into the 300 right now. And, you know, I did. And that goes a long way. So as an investor, yeah, it'll be cool to make $300 back. And then I feel like I'm breaking even, but no, I'm not breaking even. In the long run, I'm going to make out. And if John made another point, he's the software engineer. He's the anchor of this. He's the anchor of this company. And I can tell you right now, he doesn't want to sell nothing. He doesn't want to do it. You know what he wants to do? He wants to build software. So if anybody stresses John out, I'm going to be flying to India if I have to protect this guy because I have an investment. That's all there is to it. Or if it goes broke, I'm flying to India and taking the monkey. That's all there is to it. Monkey's going to be mine, George.
B, what's that girl doing back there?
She's my daughter. Want to say hi, Alexis?
Hi.
Hey, Alexis. I mean, am I on the right there page there, John? Anybody else feels I'm in the right page? Say something, you know.
He's got a monkey. Okay.
I agree. We all got John's back.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey.
I hate you, monkey.
Hey.
You hate my monkey? Hey, what did my monkey do to you?
Hey, and the other thing is too, probably George probably has a partnership in this too. So don't be. There you go, partnership right there, George the monkey.
So what else? What else you guys want to go over while we're here?
Hey, John, it's Mukesh. Can you hear me?
I sure can. What's up, buddy?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks. How you going?
Great. I'm great.
I just put a message. I just wanted to run it past with you and everyone in the group. So are you okay with one-time pricing for the 6 software package? Or is there any issue, and what should be the minimum price? Do you have any constraints on that at all?
So to be honest, I'm kind of indifferent about it right now because right now I have one focus. So right now I have a couple focuses. All right, I gotta like do this smooth transition and break up with my clients. I've got a bunch of legal stuff that I've got to work out, and then my main focus is obviously all our different softwares and getting them to a very high grade professional level. All right. So for the most part, what you guys do, I'm going to be pretty, my goal is to be pretty hands off because you guys are all adults. I will tell you on the one-time fee, whenever you do the LTDs, those users are assholes. I will tell you that straight up, that those users, those LTD users, those lifetime deal users are usually just big headaches and they're assholes. I will also tell you that I don't like it because I don't know what's going to happen with you, Mukesh. I don't know if 3 months down the road you're still going to continue to pay your membership and you're still going to be a partner, or you're going to stop paying your membership and you're not going to be a partner anymore. And if you stop paying your membership, then all those people that you sold a lifetime deal to, they're not going to have access to the software anymore because all their accounts are going to get suspended. That's what's going to happen with any partner's account. Any partner that stops being a partner for whatever reason, whether you cancel or whether your payments become delinquent and you don't pay after 7 days, those accounts that you sold, they're all going to get suspended. And then on the back end, we're going to remarket to them, and it's going to create a very bad image from a brand if you go in or other people go in and they sell things on a LTD and then on a one-time payment, and then you drop out of the partnership, And then now those guys are coming to us and it's like, well, I paid a LTD. They're not going to go cuss you out. They're going to cuss out tier 5 and they're going to say, hey, tier 5 sells LTDs. And then 3 months later, they revoke them and tell them we have to pay a monthly fee. So, and then again, like I said, those types of users are really assholes. I mean, they're really assholes, and they're not a very good quality of user. So I personally myself, I don't like it myself personally.
Okay, that's why I wanted to run it past you, see what your thoughts are. That makes sense. So what Maso is doing, you're okay with that, like a monthly minimum price on a monthly recurring basis on a like a $37, $39 price point, you're okay with that?
Sure. I'm okay with it to the extent, like, do I want you guys to go out and sell 1,000 accounts at $30 a month? No, not at all, by no means at all. But am I okay with you guys going in and selling a low price so that you can actually recoup your investment here, and financially you're not burdened by this, and you have at least broke even, so that me, from my perspective, I don't actually have to wonder, okay, who's going to make their payment this month, who's not going to make their payment this month, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to worry about financial projections. I want to worry about building software, and that's it. I don't want to have to sit every month and wonder, okay, who's going to drop out? Is anybody going to drop out? That's why I'm providing you guys the tools and everything that you need to go and make your money back right now and secure your position here so it doesn't actually cost you anything. And then from there, for me, it's a long-term play for you guys.
That makes sense. Thanks for that, John.
So what else?
Sorry, John. One more question. Sorry, Miss. You go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I had a quick question on the API. You did mention that send me an email with an API for the API access and the API. What exactly should I be doing there? Just send an email with a request for an API access, or is there any other information I should be providing you?
No, so we have an API for you guys to actually manage your user accounts. And then I have to grant you access to the API, and I just haven't granted it to everybody. It's just a switch that I actually have to go in and turn on. I can't do it right now because I have to work out something with AWS and figure out what their problem is. And then once I get that resolved, which should be resolved, should be resolved in just a little bit. I'm keep trying to fix it. Now, if you just send me your email address and just remind me that you want API access, I'll go in and turn on your API access. And what that API access allows you to do is, through an automation, you can set up user accounts. So if you build your own funnels and you want to sell Link Wizard or RoboContact or Text in Bulk through your own funnels, then you can collect the payment in your own funnels, and then you can use our API to provision that a user account whenever a new purchase comes in, all right? And then if you use Zapier, you can do exactly what I do. You can, if you use Stripe, which I recommend you use Stripe. So if you use Stripe, what you can do is you can set up an automation in Stripe where if somebody, so you set up your funnel, you sell Text in Bulk for some price point. Hopefully you sell it for the same price points that we have, because it's definitely worth that much money. Text in Bulk is worth much more than what we charge for it right now. And come February, whenever we launch the new design, it's going to be worth 3 times more than what it is right now, because it will be pretty, and people like pretty shit for some reason. So you sell it for whatever price you're selling it on your funnel, and then somebody makes a purchase, and then you can hit our API, you can provision their user accounts. Then if you're using Stripe, you can go into Stripe and you can set a trigger up in Stripe where if Stripe has a failed payment, it will throw that data to Zapier and say, hey, here's a failed payment, and you can tie into that trigger and you can suspend people's user accounts where they can no longer access the software because their payments are failing. So you can go in and use our suspend user API to go in and say, okay, hey, your monthly payment failed, and because it failed, I'm going to suspend your software account, or I'm going to suspend all your software accounts, and send them an email and let them know, look, your payment's delinquent. If you want to get access to the tools again, then make your payment.
Yep, makes sense.
It just,
sorry,
It just helps you manage stuff without having to go into the actual affiliate dashboard and be manually adding accounts or manually suspending or manually unsuspending. It allows you to do all that stuff through automations.
Thanks. Sorry if I missed that. Is there any training you have done on the API setup at all?
There is for sure. I'll be doing another one, but there is for sure. If you go to my YouTube channel, and you can get to my YouTube channel just by going to youtube.com and searching my name, John Vaughn, and finding this character right here that looks like a big guy teaching a bunch of little guys, because I like to teach little guys. And then I'm pretty sure this one right here, if you go to this one, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, the robo contact is pretty sure it's this in here, somewhere in here.
It's on the IC training for 11/12. It's in there for sure.
Yeah, this one. It's right here.
And it actually starts at 28 minutes.
So you guys can understand that we don't.
28 minutes and 26 seconds. That's where it starts.
Yeah, right in here it goes over the API training and how to use the API. Gives an example of how to actually use it. Now I have modified it a little bit since then. It's about the same. The only difference is there were Joe, the other Joe, he had a couple security concerns that if people knew the API routes and they knew what your affiliate ID was, that they could call your APIs and provision your user accounts. So I went in and added a secret token that is set by you guys. You guys go into your profile and you essentially create like a secret token, which is just a string of characters. You know, it can be your kid's name, or it can just be McDonald's, or it can be whatever secret token that you want. And then you're also going to use that secret token in your API, just like, just hey, Ankita, could you just message Dwayne from my account and work with him to get everything resolved? Thank you. So you'll just add that secret token in, and that will give you security, because unless somebody knows what your secret token is, they won't be able to authenticate with the API call, because it will also require your secret token. And then we added in a way for you to provision all the software accounts with one single API call. And so we added an all product. And then next week I'll add in domain leads, because domain leads hasn't been included because it's just been a recent thing that we launched. So that will be added in next week.
Sweet, thanks for that. And one last question I have in my list. So the link wizard, you talked about there's the conversion tracking happening. It's work in progress, or it's already in place?
It's a work in progress. It should have been done already, but the girl that's been working on it, actually, she just put in her resignation because she doesn't feel like she's being productive enough, because she just got over typhoid. She spent 2 weeks off work because she had typhoid, and she's still really, really sick and really weak. So she's just concerned. So it's still a work in progress. I'm hoping that I can get. I'm hoping that I'll have it done next week, and it will be launched next week.
Yeah. So that's the only bit. So correct me if I'm wrong. So for tracking who sent what and where I got the sale from, that's the conversion bit, which helps me out to say who gave me the sale from which traffic source, right?
Correct. The conversion scripts are kind of like a Facebook pixel. So it's a little tracking pixel that you'll install in your funnels, and then there's specific actions. Like, let's say you have an opt-in page. So you have, let's say, opt-in page, sales page, thank you page, right? So you'll go and install the conversion. You'll go and install the pixel on all pages, and then on that sales page, you'll create a tracking event called, opt-in, and then you'll install that on the sales page, because if somebody comes to your opt-in page, then after they opt in, they go to the sales page, so you can track that. You can track that opt-in. Then after they purchase your thing, they go to your thank you page, so you can create a custom conversion called new sale for whatever price. And then you can put those conversion scripts on those particular pages, and then you can essentially create, let's say you can create 5 different short links because you want to use 5 different solo vendors. and you can give one short link to each solo vendor, and then you can just say, hey, balls to the wall, knock yourself out, they drive traffic, and then you can go to each one of those links and you can look at the conversion events and you can see, okay, this particular vendor, they sent me so many clicks, and out of those clicks I got so many opt-ins, I got so many sales, and you can compare all those guys and then figure out which one, you know, you got the biggest bang for your buck.
Yep. Sounds good. Thank you. Thanks, John.
So what else? Other stuff you guys want to talk about while we're here? Yeah, so pay it.
1800.
It's they said it was 800, but whatever it is, I don't care what it is. Pay it.
It is for last 2 months.
Pay it. Pay it. So anything else that you guys want to go over while we're here?
Can I throw in a question since?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
This is your guys' time, so you can ask whatever questions you want, because this is literally your time. You paid for it. It's your time, so you should use it while you're here.
So John, you mentioned like you prefer Stripe payments. So why? And can we do monthly recurring charges through Stripe processing setup or something like that?
Yeah, you can definitely do your monthlies through Stripe. I just prefer them because you can do more automations with them. They have a much more robust API. They're more developer friendly. I just prefer them more myself personally. They're a better payment processor. I think they have cheaper processing fees than PayPal does. So I just prefer them myself. They let you do charges on demand. Like for example, if I want to go in and clean all your guys' bank accounts out, I technically could do that because once you give your card information, it's stored inside Stripe, and I can do capture events anytime I want. So I can just go in and say, hey, I need to charge this person $1,000. And then I can just charge them $1,000. You could obviously go in and dispute it if it's a fraudulent payment or whatever. They're just a more robust payment processor. They have it's really hard to do recurring payments with PayPal, and then PayPal doesn't have any real automations where you can set up any real automations with them. So Stripe is just a much more robust payment processor. They accept a lot more different currencies, and they're just, in my opinion, they're just much better from a development standpoint.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
Hi, John. You said you will be going through some revenue projections which you had sent before.
Yeah, that's one of the questions. That's one of the questions that's on the post in the unit. So I was gonna go over and do that last. If you want to do them right now, I can do them right now. So here's financial projections. All right, I gave you guys all access to this where you can comment on it and ask any questions that you want. All right. So I'll kind of just go over everything that's here. I want you to know that these are projections, and these are by no means actually guaranteed financial income. They're just reasonable projections that I'm making. All right. You can play around with the variables in the variables tab to see how it changes and how it actually affects our projections. Here's the variables tab here that you can go in and actually change different variables where it will actually have an effect on what's happening here. So you can see this is projected revenue from the partnership. So this is how much revenue that I'm projecting that's coming from our partnership right now, which is pretty accurate. I think it's like $39,900, something like that, because I extended the gates and let you guys promote for an extra week after we actually hit our goal. So we went a little bit above our goal, which is fine. It's no problem. It's no problem for me. I don't mind being a little bit above our goal. I did have to give away some of my own personal equity in Tier 5, which is not a big deal. So no big deal there. So these are our projections. I'm assuming. So I haven't made much fluctuation here. I'm just assuming that. My assumption is I'm going to actually be able to help you guys and help everybody that's in the partnership at least break even so that nobody is actually going to drop out. And then I'm also assuming I have had one person already who got like 14 days delinquent on their partnership, and I kicked them out of the partnership. I sent them several messages and told them, you know, hey, your payment's past due. It's been past due for 14 days now, or 7 days or 8 days. I gave them plenty chances and they never responded to me. So I canceled their partnership. I let them know it was canceled. That same day I went on Facebook and said, hey, I've got an extra Inner Circle partnership available because somebody went and got kicked out because they didn't pay. So whoever wants it first, they get it. And I had 2 people go buy at the exact same time, and then like another 7 people that also said that they wanted it, and I didn't make it available. Besides that, I also have a wait list right now on my chatbot of like 57 people who want to get in on this opportunity, and they're on a wait list. So I'm pretty confident that if anybody drops out, as soon as they drop out within a few hours, I can replace them in the partnership from the wait list and from just going back to Facebook and saying, hey, I've got one more spot available. And since it's the last spot, everybody's going to be like, fuck, I want it. Let me go get it. So like whenever the other spot came available, out of the 2 people that bought it, one of them already has 2 partnerships, and they wanted to go get another one because that's how much they believe in this opportunity. So I don't think this is going to fluctuate that much. So I've just left this static here. This is the actual projected cost. So if you guys remember, the OCI goal is it's an inflated cost, and it does not actually indicate our actual physical cost. So our actual physical cost is obviously less than the inflated cost. To give you an idea of that, this is from my HR, and I have her prepare our financial sheets every month. So this is our actual physical cost for the month of November. So you can see here's our physical cost for the month of November right here. So it is, you can tell that this is an inflated cost, and obviously I've calculated in inflation, I've calculated in the growth rate that we want to keep, and I've calculated in a risk covariant as well in case some people cancel, so that I, like I said, I don't want to sit and wonder every month and have to stress out about financials. I want to not worry about that at all, so I can focus on building badass software. So for those factors, the OCI is actually inflated. So this goes in and actually shows the projected cost or actual cost. Now with this cost that you're seeing, there's some unaccounted for things like my server costs are not accounted in here. So this is soft costs, not hard costs. Server costs, that's what Ankita was talking about, that $1,800 bill. Server costs, cost to ClickFunnels, cost to our mailing services, cost to Zapier, stuff like that are not included in here. So this is just that normalized hard cost is what this is. So you can see across the board the normalized hard cost. This is projected overflow, which the projected overflow is just how much money do we get from the partnership versus what are our physical costs going to be that month, how much money is actually left over. All right, and then this is obviously for the projected balance. That is just a running total of summing up all of these guys right here. All right, so that makes sense to everybody so far. Pretty simple, right? This ad spend right here, this is ad spend from this balance right here. So since there is an overflow of money coming from the partnership, it allows me to go in and now keep in mind, I want you guys to understand that in these projections, you will not see, like if you look here on this sheet right here, you will not see my name. You'll see my wife's name here, but you won't see my name listed anywhere because I don't pay myself a salary. I don't give myself a salary. And you also won't see that in these costs right here. So there is no salary in here for me, all right? So that's part of where this overflow comes in. Plus, I don't require a lot of money because I'm also a long-term player. I don't need short-term cash. I do require millions and billions, but I'm fine with getting that in the long run instead of the short term, all right? So I do not plan, however, to completely take all the extra money that comes in from the partnership, all this overflow money, and spend that all on advertising. What I have provisioned is that I will precede some advertising spend to get some initial customers in from us. And then if we want to continue to expand, I'm going to present to you guys the options that we have, which will be to actually take the money that's coming in, and instead of completely distributing it out to the partners in terms of revenue share, that we agree to take a percentage of that, which you can find on this variable page right here. We agree to take a percentage of the money that comes in and reinvest that back into ad spend so that we can accelerate our growth, all right? So this ad spend is coming from this excess capital from the partnership. This ad spend here is the ad spend that we're getting whenever we acquire new customers and they're paying us money. We take some of that money and we reinvest it back into ad spend to acquire even new customers, all right? This new projected balance is just taking this running balance here and subtracting the ad spend that we spend from that balance. So it just subtracts this ad spend. So you can see like right here, we have a balance of $39,000, but we're going to spend $5,000 of that money in advertising. So it puts our balance at $34,000. Here we have a balance of $53,000, but we spent $5,000 here and we're going to spend another $5,000 here. So we actually have a balance of working capital overhead of $43,000. So that's what this new projected balance is. These new projected customers, these are essentially how many customers we're projecting that we can get from the summation of these ad spends right here. If we add these ad spends together, how many customers do we think we can acquire? New projected revenue, this is the new revenue that we're projecting is going to come in from these new customers that we just acquired. Total projected customers, that is obviously just in a simple form, it is a summation of these guys, all right? In a simple form, it is just adding all these guys up together. That's your total customers in a simple form. In a complex form, it goes in and accounts for this churn rate, all right? Churn rate is essentially describes at what rate do customers stop paying us, either because they cancel their services, because they don't like the softwares and don't find them useful, or because they're broke fucking people and their payments fail because they don't physically have the money to pay to use our softwares, all right? So that's just literally the drop-off rate at which we acquire new customers. Obviously, we acquire new customers. We're not going to keep 100% of them. Some of them are going to cancel the services. Some of them aren't just going to be able to pay for them, and their payments are going to fail, all right? So in a complex form, if you look at the function here, you can see the function just goes in and says, okay, take my previous total projected customers and multiply that by 1 minus my churn rate. So however many customers I had last month, I'm assuming 10% of those customers from last month are going to drop off. So essentially give me 90% of these guys right here, and then also add these new guys to the 90% of these guys. That's how we derive our total customers, all right? Total projected revenue, that's pretty simple. That's just the total revenue that we think we're going to get from these total customers that we have. Revenue share projected value, ad spend adjusted. What that means is I am projecting that most of my partners have brains and you're smart and you understand that if we take all the profits and we just distribute them up against ourselves and we do that, we're not going to have a lot of growth, all right? If we decide together, look, instead of taking all those profits and distributing them back, let's go and let's change this variable, this ad spend percentage from new customer revenue, which I have set right now at 90%, which means what that means is if we get $1 million in revenue this month, next month we're spending $900,000 on advertising to acquire new customers because we want to hyper accelerate our growth because we're looking at a long-term play and not a short-term play, all right? Obviously, we have to come to some consensus and some agreement on what this variable is, which is why I've created this spreadsheet so that you can go in and actually look. If you look, what actually happens is the higher this is, the more money that you guys make. And it seems counterintuitive that, look, if we only keep 10% of the revenue, we're actually going to make more money. And that's just how it actually works. The more money that we dump into ad spend, the faster we get rich. If we decide that we want to if we decide for 12 months that we don't distribute any revenue shares at all, and we take 100% of the money and we dump it back into advertisement to get more and more customers, you're going to see that we're going to hyper accelerate our growth. And after 12 months, we're going to have 4, 5, 6, 10 times more money than we would if we only go in and say, hey, let's only take 50% of the ad spend. All right. So this revenue share projected value with the ad spend adjusted, what it does is it says, okay, look, we've got this amount of total revenue here, but we're not going to distribute this total revenue to the partners because we're going to take a percentage of this revenue and we're going to invest it back into advertising to acquire new customers. The rest that's left over, we're going to distribute out to the partners. All right. So how it would look right now is at this value right here, you're seeing such a low value because we're only actually distributing 10% of this revenue to partners, because the other 90% of that revenue is going back into advertisement so that we can acquire new customers and we can grow even faster. All right. So this shows, for an Inner Circle member, this just is really simple. It just takes the projected revenue value that's adjusted for ad spend, and it multiplies it by the minimum 30 revenue shares we know each Inner Circle partner has to show you what your projected income is at any given time. And this value down here is almost the same, except for it shows the actual value of one revenue shares. It negates ad spend. It doesn't account for the fact that we're going to dump in money back into ad spend. So you can actually see at what point could we say, look, maybe at this point we could go in and say, all right, let's lower down the amount of ad spend that we dump back into stuff so that we can have some money. But if you look at the math, you'll see that it is never a good idea to lower that ad spend. It is always in our better interest to increase it because it just makes us more and more profitable. All right. So I've put in the fact that I think it's going to acquire us to $100 to acquire a customer that's going to pay us $97 a month. All right. I personally think that's a good figure. A couple people have said, like Joe said, that we should have that at $150 or something. But I think that if we do things properly, because this is normalized, this has to be normalized. Some of our, like if we do something like launch on JVZoo, and we take an approach where what we do is we have softwares like Text and Bulk, we have softwares like RoboContact, and these guys never actually hit JVZoo at all because these are our cash cows. And what we do is we take softwares like Link Wizard and we take softwares like Sticky Reviews. We take these lower end softwares and we launch those on JVZoo for whatever price point. Who fucking cares? Let's launch them for $1. We don't really care. Let's launch them so that we can acquire a huge list of customers. And then once we acquire that list of customers, let's market out to those customers to our cash cows. That will normalize our ad spend. All those people, we don't have to, it didn't cost us anything to acquire that customer. What it cost us was essentially opportune cost. It cost us, instead of selling Sticky Reviews for $47 a month, we sold it for $27, and we gave 70% of that out to the affiliates that promoted it. So we had an opportune cost there, and we actually still got paid to acquire those customers. We didn't have to pay in a bunch of advertising, and then we can take all those customers and we can market RoboContact to them. We can market, Text and Bulk to them. So you guys can play around with these numbers and see what happens whenever you play around with these numbers. This 10% right here, this churn rate, I've had a couple of people said it should be higher. It should be 30%. This is a monthly value and not an annual value. And if you were to think that you're going to have a 30% churn rate a month, that is stupid. It is at that point you should just completely go out of business, because you will see that it is not possible for you to ever make a profit and for you to ever sustain growth, because that essentially ends up being, if you have a 5% churn rate a month, you end up having around like a 46% annual churn rate. So if you multiply that by 6 and multiply that by 6, that means that that means that you have a 240% churn rate a year, which is just, obviously it's not sustainable. If 240% of your customers are canceling, then you're never going to make any money ever. It's just not possible. So with these values, if you look at these values here and you say, hey, look, it's going to cost us $100 to acquire a customer. That customer is going to pay us, a monthly fee of $97 a month. Let's say we're going to spend 50% of that revenue we're going to spend 50% of that incoming revenue back in ad spend. This is the highest industry acceptable churn rate. And actually, this is not correct. This is what the industry would consider an acceptable churn rate in a year, not in a month. All right. So this is more than sufficient. If we can't keep and how can we combat our churn rate? Well, for me, how can we combat our churn rate is we focus on two things. All right. We build little softwares like Sticky Reviews and Invoicing You. We build little cool softwares that don't take a large amount of time. I can put 2 developers on it, and in 3 months they can build a software and we can launch that software. That way I can have that team of 2 developers launch 4 softwares a year. I can take 6 developers and then we can essentially launch 20 softwares a year. All those softwares can go to places like ClickBank. They can go to places like JVZoo to just acquire our customer list so that we don't have to spend this much money to acquire a customer. And then we keep the rest of our team building softwares like Text in Bulk or like RoboContact that are very data heavy, like a chatbot builder or like a website builder. If we get somebody into Text in Bulk and they start using that platform every day and they have all their contacts in that platform and they have all their text messages and all their phone calls in there, they're not going to leave that platform because all their data is there. If they have all their websites in that platform, they're not going to leave that platform because all their websites are there. If it's a chatbot and they have all their contacts and all their chatbots set up, they're not going to leave that platform because if they leave that platform, they have to start over from scratch and they have to build that complete contact list up again. They have to build their entire chatbot again. So if we focus our cash cows on being very data heavy softwares, that's going to allow us to keep a really, really low churn rate because no one wants to leave that data. They understand, hey, if I leave here, I kind of have to start all over, and that's going to be a pain in the ass. So I think this is I personally think this is a reasonable churn rate because the industry, if you went to any SaaS expert that specializes in growth and retention and said that you have a 7% churn rate per month, they're going to say you're doing something wrong because that's over a 60% churn rate per year, which is very fucking high. All right. So if you look at these numbers here, then you can kind of see what our projections are as far as revenue. For you guys, what it means is you guys actually break even right here, which is in September. You break even if you don't consider ad spend. All right. If you want to consider the ad spend, then you're going to break even over here in November. If these numbers hold true, you would break even over here in November. All right. So I want you to notice that over here in November, once we deduct your ad spend, then you're making like $400 a month, and the actual value of everything, if we just turned off the ads, would be about $700 a month. All right. And if you so this is in November where you're breaking even considering your ad spend. And if you come over here to the end of the projection, which is after 18 months is all I projected for, you can see that including your ad spend, I told you guys within 12 to 18 months, I was forecasting that a revenue share could be between $100 and $200. And you can see here at 18 months, that revenue share is right in the middle of $150, including the fact that we're only distributing half of this revenue. The other half of this revenue we're dumping back into advertisements. Here's the true value. The true value, if we actually turned off the ads here, would be $300. You guys would be making $9,000 a month. All right. Now, the magic happens whenever you decide to go in and say, fuck this, we don't want money today. We don't want a little bit of money today. We want a lot of money tomorrow. So we're gonna just go in and say, let's not keep that 50%. Let's reinvest that. Let's reinvest almost all of it. And you can see what ends up happening is it's about the same. You guys are still breaking even. You guys are still breaking even, ad spend included here in November. You're still breaking even here, but look at the difference, all right? This is still where you're breaking even, but look at the difference. Before this was $900. Here, if you invest more money in ad spend, here it's $4,000, all right? And then if you come all the way down here to the end, this is $25,000 here, and this is $250,000 a month. So that means here at the end, you can see what happens if we just take all the money. We still broke even at the exact same point. You guys, even with your ad spend, you're still breaking even right here at November, the exact same point. The big difference is if we turn off our ads at this point, if we just say, fuck it, let's turn off our ads, instead of your revenue shares being worth a total of $900 a month, they're worth $4,000 a month. If we keep the ads going at the end here, you're making $25,000 a month here, including the fact that we're only distributing 10% of the revenue to you guys. 90% of the revenue we're dumping back into advertisement to acquire new customers. If we chop the ads off here at this point, your revenue shares are worth $8,000 each. So that means you're making around $250,000 a month. Again, these are projections, not actual promises. These are just projections. So you can go in and you can, hopefully now you understand what happens. This is a huge thing to keep in mind as this thing increases. You see we're at 7% right here, all right? At 7% here, you can see that we're at, actually what I'm gonna do is just open this up somewhere else so that I can edit it easily and you can see what happens and I'll just tell you what I'm doing. You can see where we're at right here at 25,000 here, 250,000. I'm just going to actually change that by 3%. I'm going to change it instead of 7%. I'm going to change it to 10%. All right. And you can see what happens. You just lost $50,000 a month or you just lost $5,000 a month. All right. And as that churn goes up, if we actually approximate and say, hey, let's increase it another percent and say we got a 20% churn rate, you can see I increased it another 10% and you just lost a shit ton of money. You lost $18,000 or you lost $12,000 a month. So the churn is something that's really important for us to actually keep in mind to keep our customers in our software and to keep them happy. So the projections make sense. Anybody have questions about it or understand how you can play with these numbers and what they do, how they change? You can go in and decide, hey, if we have a lower price point, what happens if we have a lower price point of, $47? How does that affect us if we're going to go in and charge, how does that affect us if we're going to go in and charge, a lower price? Then that affects you greatly, obviously, because now you're not breaking even until you don't break even over here. If you consider ad spend, you still don't break even over here. And that's because you have a low price and you have a high churn rate of 20%. So you can feel free to go in and play with those numbers and see how you change those numbers. I mean, obviously, this is not a good scenario that you pay $100 to get a customer that's going to pay you $47 to pay you $47, because if we work out the math here, you would see that you're almost always losing money, especially considering this churn rate here, because that guy is not going to last very long. If it's a 20% churn rate, if it's a 20% churn rate, you're going to make only $100. You're going to spend that $100 and you're only going to make $100, because by the time he's paid you $100, then he's going to actually churn out, because it's going to take, well, you're going to make $200 actually. By the time he pays you $200 in total, then he's going to actually churn out because you got a 20% churn rate. So maybe it's too much math for you. Maybe it's not. You can play with the numbers and see how it actually affects stuff and see what the financial projections are.
Hey, John, just a quick question. So your plan is to have a baseline and compare it month on month going forward, or I just wanted to know your thinking.
I didn't understand your question, actually.
So this is the projections sheet, which makes sense. Like you could play around with the variables and then get an idea of how it changes the value and the revenue. So what I'm trying to ask is, based on what has happened going forward, would you be tracking the actuals?
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll definitely set up a way to actually track actual revenue and track the actual money coming in and what our actual churn rates are and what it's actually costing us to acquire a customer. For sure, we're definitely going to have to keep all that data and track all that data for sure.
So is that going to be shared with everyone, or it's just
it's
a private scenario?
No, for sure. So you guys are going to have access to the financial information. I actually set up a completely different Stripe account where all the payments for any of our softwares and stuff are going to come through this particular Stripe account. The only thing that's going to come in my other Stripe account are things that have happened pre-partnership and the actual partnership money. Like, look, we already got $97 worth of revenue to share, guys. So if you guys want to split all that up right now and get paid on that $97, just let me know. But like I haven't done it for everything. What I did it for initially, because what I want you guys to be pushing the most is the community membership, because that's a very vital piece in the puzzle, is that community membership. So it's a very vital piece in the puzzle, that community membership. So that's the first thing that I've went in and switched. I've went in and switched that community membership, and then you can see that this guy right here, Pierce, he just came in through one of my ClickFunnels pages for the community, and now that he's came in there. Now that he's came in there, I think he's in here somewhere. Oh shit, I gotta go in and actually update RoboContact as well. So there's Pierce, he came in. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I haven't updated all of them because it's a little bit of work. So I'll go in and update RoboContact next, because it looks like people are purchasing that from Hector. But he went in and I updated the community membership as the first one that I updated in that new shared Stripe account, and that was when Pierce came in. So we got our first $97. That is a monthly payment. That is now partnership money. And then I will go in all next week. I'll go through all my pre-made funnels that I already have, and I'll update all those payments to, instead of going into my Stripe account, they'll go into this partnership account. And then what I figured we would do is we would elect as partners, we would elect a couple people from the partnership who I will grant view financial data, where they can just go in at any single day they want and look and see what's going on inside our shared Stripe account for the partnership. And then we'll do like quarterlies or monthlies where we show where we go in and actually do an export and show the reports and everything. And that be all transparent about that on a monthly or quarterly basis. But we can still go in and elect like 2 or 3 different financial oversight people that I can go in and add to the Stripe team, where they can have financial access, where they can actually go in and be like a liaison for all the partners as a verification node to go in and say, okay, look, here's all the money that's coming in. We can go in and see everything that's actually coming in.
That makes sense. Thanks. Not going off tangent, John, since you mentioned that the community membership is the key focus for the group, it would be nice to get some training or guidance from the experienced people in the group, saying this is how we can market the community, what could be a framework, and some kind of basic understanding for everyone, saying this is a framework, please work within the framework, and here is the training, here is the options you have, this is how you can pitch, this is how you can add value before they join the community group. That would help out everyone to get an understanding of how it should be actually done to get the membership, community membership up and going for everyone.
Well, I can tell you, I can tell you my thoughts. I can tell you my thoughts on that. You just let me grab some water. Here's my thoughts. Here's what I want to do. I want to build software. I don't want to fucking. I don't want to do any marketing or anything like that. I'm hoping all you guys can work together. There's enough of you guys. You guys are smart. We've got enough of you guys where you guys can actually work together and you guys can figure stuff out. Where you guys need me and my best fit is to be over here building software, managing a team of developers, making sure that our software is perfect and executed properly in the marketplace. That's where I best fit into this entire role. I don't want to give people marketing strategies or help people with their marketing strategies, all right? Because I'm not even good at that shit. I'm not good at it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not good at that shit at all. So I would hope that us together in the partnership, especially like you IC members, the other partners that are on a different level, I don't really rely on them for anything. They can pay their monthly fee and that's about it. You guys at the top, you guys are the most vested in this. I would hope that you guys together can actually work things out. And that's what the IC group is for. You guys can post anything that you guys want in there. You guys can network in there. And then hopefully you guys together can come in and fill some of these parts together and put them together. Because like I said, the best spot for me where you guys really want me at is you want me out off the internet and you want me focused 100% here with the developers building new software, because that's where I fit best. That's where I'm going to actually shine at.
That makes sense. Thanks, John.
Hey, John, now that the dashboard's back up, can you just go over real quick on the dashboard where it was the accounts, it says 1,000, balance is 1,000, it says add one user. Is that like you would add somebody's email, give them the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 password, and they get to use it for 2 weeks, and then once it's done, you cut them off?
Well, that's kind of whatever you want to do, buddy. Let's see. Let's take a look and see. Let's see if I can find somebody who hasn't freaking updated their password yet. Let me find someone who hasn't yet updated their password, and I can log into their account and just show you. George, go away. Where are my partners at? Let's see where my partners at. Dana White, hopefully you have not updated your password yet, and I'm going to log into your account. Let's see. Dana White. Nope. Damn it, Dana.
This one.
Trina, hopefully you haven't.
Trina surely has.
Someone has not updated. Trina, got you. I got you. All right, so yes, here you can go in. For example, if I go to invoicing you and I just say, test@cookie.com, and then I add that user, and then George, go away, and then I go to invoicing you, George, wait, sorry, and then I go to whatever that was, test@cookie.com, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quit, George. That will log you right into the platform. So this is just how you go in and manage your user accounts. All right. So now you'll see that user account is here. If they don't pay you, you can suspend them, and then now they can't use the platform because they've been suspended. So now if they try to log in, it won't let them log in because they've been suspended. If you want to give them access again, you just unsuspend them. And you can see that you have a balance of 999 because you're already using one. And if you want to delete them, then you can just delete them, and then they won't be able to use their account anymore because they don't have an account anymore. Make sense?
Total sense. Thank you. That's awesome, because that's a good selling point right there. I give somebody a 14-day free trial, 7-day free trial, and then they pay it, they don't pay it, whatever, because I'll send them the link or whatever, and there we go. Good deal.
Here's your API access here, all right? So here's your API access. It's the same as before. I did add in an all for you where you can add with one API. You can add all users, or you can add a user to all softwares with this one API call. Or if you just want to add them to RoboContact, you can use this product right here. Quit, George. Jesus Christ, you're making a mess, boy. All right. And then I did go in, like I said, you can go, I added a secret key. So you guys will need to go here to your profile, and then you'll need to create a secret key. This can be whatever you want, like Cookie Monster. And just add that secret key. Once you add that secret key, then you'll need to add that secret key in your API call. And that way, that gives you a little bit of extra security so that nobody else can use your APIs unless they know what your secret key is, and they won't unless you tell them. So does that answer your question?
Hey, John.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, can you demonstrate to us while you're on here anyway about the user accounts, how you would automate the, say, 14 days free trial, send them an email saying that it's expired and cancel their processing and everything? Can you show us that?
So we'll want to have Zapier. All right. So you want to have Zapier, you want to have some ClickFunnels page. I've got some ClickFunnels page already. All right. So I've got like this ClickFunnels page. Where is it at? Somewhere, this one right here. So here's a ClickFunnels page, pretty straightforward. Put in your name, email, and I'm going to create an account for you on Invoicing You, it looks like, all right? So I must have in here some Zap. I must have some Zap in here, right here. When I get a new contact that comes in from that page right here, this is called Link Wizard Test. Whenever I get I don't know why it says Invoicing You other than I'm an idiot. So whenever a new contact comes in there, you're going to use webhooks by Zapier. You're going to use a post request, and then you're just going to fill out your information here. Now we're missing one thing here, so let's come in here and let's just grab her. Let's grab her affiliate ID. From there, secret key is Cookie Monster, so let's put in our secret key. Secret key was Cookie Monster. Let's go back and look at that API. We need a secret key required, so we're going to add in that secret key Cookie Monster. So we're going to add in a secret key. All right. So this will create the user account for sticky reviews, but we don't want to create it for sticky reviews because it's called Link Wizard, so we're going to create it for Link Wizard. All right?
Yep.
Grab that. We're going to stick that in the product for Link Wizard. All right? If you want to create all accounts, then you just need to use the all. All right? So this is going to set up your account. Now, at this point, I would recommend that you do something like send an email. All right. So that send an email should be pretty straightforward. You shouldn't need me to tell you what to do. You're just going to include their username, include their password, include a link to whatever software that you created for them, and say, hey, you can log in your software accounts. I'm ready. So I'm not going to create this one because I'm assuming that you guys are smart enough to know how to set up your email and create your email. All right. So now, if you want your automation to after 14 days or whatever to automatically suspend their account, then you can just go in and put a delay here. and you can delay 4, and then you can just put in the 14 days here. And then you'll just do another webhook. And then you'll do a post request. And then you're going to grab the suspend user guy right here, pop him in there. And then you're going to need all these same guys. You're going to need your secret key. You're going to need your token. You're going to need your email and your product. And then that will do your suspension. So this will now suspend them, all right? And then again, you can make another email here, and that email will just be like, yo, hey, what's up? Your account was suspended because you didn't pay, all right?
Right. But where in this process does it check payment?
Wherever they pay you at. So however you're collecting payment. So you're collecting the payment on your own, right? You're collecting the payment through your own payment processor. So where I don't know where you check it, wherever they're paying you at. If they're paying you through Stripe, you go check it in Stripe. If they're paying you through PayPal, you check it in PayPal. I don't know where.
Yeah, so we just manually check it then.
What's that?
So we just manually check it then after 14 days.
Yeah, you're gonna have to check it somehow. So I can't tell you that because I don't know where I don't know where you're collecting the payment at. I personally wouldn't do this. I personally wouldn't. I mean, you can do this, but the issue that you're going to have here is, let's say they go pay at day 7 and they decide at day 7, yeah, I want to pay. Well, guess what? They're going to pay at day 7, and then at day 14, their account's still going to get suspended automatically. There's no easy way to cancel this delay for process. There's no easy way to actually cancel this out.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would
Cool,
say.
thanks.
I would say your best bet is to automate the creation of their account, and then you could add something to your calendar. You could add something to your Gmail calendar that says, hey, on this day I need to check all these users to see if they paid or not, and then if they didn't pay, you can just come into your account to manage the account, and then you can just suspend them all and send them out an email there.
Okay, cool. So 2 separate processes rather than all jumbled up into one automation sequence.
Sure, you could have this automation, and then what could happen is you could, at the end of this automation, you could just send them an email and say, hey, your account's been suspended for non-payment. If you believe that, here's a link to make your payment, your account will be unsuspended. If you believe that this was made a mistake and you have made a payment, just respond to this email with, your receipt, and then we'll take care of it. So this will automatically get suspended after 14 days. And if they did happen to pay, then they'll obviously respond to your email, and then you can just log into your account, and you'll see that user, you'll see that they're suspended, and you can just unsuspend them right then and there.
All right, cool. Sweet.
And no, to answer your question, Glenn, no, we have not had that JV Zoo meeting. I'm still trying to work out a time that works for everybody, and I guess I kind of dropped the ball on that. So, Dennis, is it possible that you correlate that, and I'll just be available whatever time's good for you guys? I need to have it with you and Kevin, and then this other guy in our group. He is at.
Yeah, I'll follow up with that. That's fine. No problem.
He's tagged in that same post. Actually, he was recommended by several people that he's done several different JVZoo launches as far as the integration with ClickFunnels is concerned. So I don't want to actually do that integration myself. I just was going to give him like the logins to JVZoo and to ClickFunnels temporarily, and then let him actually go do whatever setups required to get the funnels launched on JVZoo, because I don't want to waste my time doing that actually myself personally.
Yeah. All right, I'll coordinate that meeting. A quick thing, John, on the Manage Accounts tab within the Affiliate dashboard. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who this may have happened to. I did have the API option on the top right, the way you're showing it now, but now it's no longer showing in my my dashboard.
That's because
my affiliate.
That's because the guy that I had. That's because we had a big mishap today with this affiliate dashboard, and I'm still fucking working.
Okay. All right. No problem.
You have it now, though. So if any of you guys don't have API access, just send me an email or send me a message on Facebook with your email address that you use to log into the affiliate dashboard, and just, you know, include API access or something like that, so I know why you're sending me your email, and I'm not just like, the fuck's this crazy dude sending me an email for? Whatever you want. Just send me your email and let me know that you want API access, and I'll go and enable it. We just had an issue with something that was happening, and what I've been doing is going in and trying to get everybody updated as far as so some of you guys have not actually answered these questions at all. I sent you guys out an email, and some of you guys have not responded to this email, but I've sent everybody out an email. A lot of you guys, if you haven't responded, I've sent it out to you 2 or 3 or 4 times already to give me what your legal name is for legal documents, and then just re-verify who has referred you to the partnership. I want you guys to obviously be honest about it, and don't go in the background and be like, oh, no one referred me, so I'll just say you referred me. You know, just be honest about it, because sometimes ClickFunnels either doesn't track your shit, or sometimes people just don't actually use your affiliate link because they're dicks. So I want to make sure everybody actually gets credit for the people that they're actually referring into, that they actually referred in. So I've just asked you guys to provide that information, and then I've just been going through and actually updating everybody to make sure that you guys, whenever you're in your dashboard, you see the correct people and everything's accurate. And as I was doing that, because some JavaScript on the front end or something that actually was changing everybody's names and email accounts, so some people actually couldn't even log in. So I yelled at that developer and got all that resolved today. So some of you guys may not have API access, so you just need to message me and I'll get it restored for you. The only other question that I had here is, David said, I'm for limiting agency accounts to a lower number, 10 to 50, great. I'm for setting a minimum price agreement, probably $30 an account. These aren't intended to make anyone rich, just stable with our partner payment dues. I think our earliest next thing product-wise should be something that we ourselves can use in-house to catalyze growth and all-tier 5 software. I'm liking clones of UpViral or group funnels, etc. Affiliate dashboard updated for me, thanks. We've all got great ideas for features requests. I've submitted mine to the chatbots. I think the one that will get the most attention in our own promo efforts, however, is ringless voicemail. So no actual questions there. So does anybody else have any other questions or anything else that they want to talk about while we're here?
Hey John, what's the best email to email to you for the API access?
It's the easiest way is just if you just drop your email in right now while we're here, then I'll just do it right now while we're on the call. But the easiest way to communicate with me is just send me a message through Facebook, because I don't check my email. Somebody does that for me. So the easiest way is just to send me a message on Facebook, and I'll take care of it. But if you just drop it in right now, then I'll just do it right now. Or you can just send an email to john@tier5.us or hello@tier5.us. They are monitored, just usually not by me. But like I said, if you just drop your email in right now, if you just give it to me right now, I'll get you updated right now. See, just like that. Now everybody's going to drop in their email.
Sorry, John, I didn't mean to do that.
No, you're good. You're already enabled, Ron. So I see you're already enabled. You're enabled, Mikesh. Joe, I think you might be enabled already. If not, I'll get you taken care of. Yeah, you're enabled already, Joe. If anybody else needs it, just send me your email. Either drop it in the Zoom chat or message me on Facebook or send me an email. And ringless voicemail is for sure on the roadmap for text in bulk for sure. It's definitely on the roadmap for text in bulk, and I'm gonna try to release it. I'm gonna try to release it before we do the rebuild of text in bulk and launch the rebuild, which is gonna be end of January, end of February sometime. That's why you see on these financial projections, that's why my ad spend starts right here in March. So the reason that my ad spend starts right here in March is because I'm anticipating that either right here or right here, we will actually do a rebranded launch of text in bulk. So that's why I've actually started that ad spend right here to promote that one particular product, because I think that product will be our very first cash cow, because I really believe that product, once we add in some new additional features and give a once we give in some new features, some added features, then I think that will be like a cash cow. And that's one of those things that once users get in that platform and start using that platform, then you're already enabled, Tony. They will keep using it because all their data's there, and they won't want to leave their data and go away from their data. But yes, it is on the roadmap, and we will be building it. I just can't tell you exactly when it will be released. We have some other stuff that that has to be done. If you want it prioritized, your best option is going to be to correlate with Dennis and talk to Dennis, because he's the product owner of that software, and it's kind of up to him to decide what features get built when and how. So just ping Dennis, because he's in charge of text in bulk for the most part.
Hey John, just a quick one. Sorry, just again the API. I logged out and logged back again. I couldn't see the API thing. Does it take time to propagate, or should it come up as soon as you enable it?
Who's that asking me?
Makesh, sorry.
Try it again. Maybe I lied. You don't have to log out, just refresh the page.
Yep. Yeah, I can see it now. Thank you.
Yep.
John, the review of the financial, that spreadsheet, that was very helpful. Thank you.
Like I said, it's just projections. They're just projections. They're not guaranteed, but they're totally attainable. I mean, in a long-term play, if we look at a long-term play, 24 months, 36 months, and we can launch some type of funnel builder like ClickFunnels, and we can launch some type of chatbot builder like ManyChat or ChatFuel, and then we can actually perfect text in bulk and give it a nice new pretty name, and we can have 3 platforms like that. Those platforms are very, very data intensive, and there's going to be very low churn rate in that, because the more users use the platform, the more data that they accumulate into the platform, the more they have to stick to the platform, the less likely, as long as we stay competitive, and as long as we have a good product owner on each of those softwares that are always out there looking at our competitors and seeing what they're doing and making sure that our price point is a price point that that works in the market and making sure that our feature set is better than everybody else's feature set, and that we actually listen to our user base, and we don't just say fuck off, give us your money and we're not going to do anything for you. As long as we continue to add new features in and cater to them and listen to their pain points and continue to solve them, those users are going to stick. And if we have a guy like ClickFunnels, if we have a guy like ManyChat, and if we have a guy like Text in Bulk, then it's very easy to see that over 24, 36 months, between just those three softwares, we could be doing 10, 15, $20 million a month in income, because especially if we have some type of bundle service for all that, because then it's like you come to us and you don't need to go anywhere else for software, because everything you need is just right there. So it's not far-fetched to believe. Keep in mind that Salesforce has one software. They don't do any type of upsells, so they don't have any real upsells, and they're pushing $10 billion a year from their one software. So it is totally achievable. Software like Teamwork, if you look at Teamwork makes over $100 million a year. They got one single software. I use it, so I use it every day. So definitely achievable, but definitely just projections. And a lot of it, again, like I said, a lot of it's going to be being able to actually get you guys to agree that you don't want short-term money today, that you want you want to see the money that we have coming in, and you want to take that and reinvest it into marketing to rapidly scale our growth instead of having a very slow organic growth. We want to actually take all that money and reinvest it back into marketing and keep acquiring customers and acquiring customers and acquiring customers until we have every customer in the world.
Hey John, it's Michael. Can you sort my one out as well? My one has disappeared, the API thing. I just sent you the email. I mean the chat. My email's in the chat.
Let's see. Oh, right here. Sure thing, buddy. Should be good.
Sweet, thanks.
Yep.
The API is in the dashboard, right? You said where all the free accounts show up?
Yeah, it's just on this side right here. If you look here through the UI, add them right here. API is right there, and you'll just see all.
Yeah, I refreshed it and it didn't show up.
Well.
I even logged out and then logged back in. I thought maybe
I must have turned you off or something. You're back.
Oh, okay.
Be good. Just refresh again. You should be good.
Good. That fast.
Just like that. I try to make it easy for everything.
It is. It is. Hey, John, thanks a lot for your time today, man. This is kick-ass.
Well, I hate to say it, but you guys pay for it. So my time is for you guys. So like I said, I did send out letters. I did essentially take $70,000 a month out of my pocket to be able to go through this venture with you guys, because I'm not myself a short-term type of person. I myself am more of the long-term type of person, and I've got no problem giving up $70,000 a month today for a couple $1 million a month, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road. So I don't have any problem going down that long-term game. I don't have any problem myself not even getting a salary for 2 or 3 years, if that means after 2 or 3 or 4 years the financial incentive is going to be, exponentially greater than what I would be getting today. That doesn't actually bother me at all. So hopefully you guys are able to go down that same road. If you guys are not making your money back and this is a financial burden to you, and you're wondering, fuck, am I going to be able to keep going with this? Where am I going to get the money from? Then I would definitely suggest that you get into the group and you you talk to people like Marcelo, and you talk to other people like Ron, who have already went out there and they've already made their money back plus additional money, and you work with them so that this does not actually cost you anything, and you're at least breaking even, and this isn't a burden from you. And then if you want to make additional money, you can definitely still make additional money if you want additional money, but I definitely want everybody for you guys to at least break even and this not actually cost anything. So if you're concerned about that, then it's not a magical thing. You got to do some work, so you got to be prepared for that, and you just do it. If you need help with somebody, that's why we have a Facebook group. Go in there, network with people, get help from people. I'm sure there's several people in there that will actually help you. If you're not doing anything and you're just sitting on your ass and thinking that magically somehow this is going to happen, well, it's a really stupid thought. So stop thinking that and get help from somebody.
So the wait list, if anybody drops out after the month of November, is the partnership going to increase in cost after November or anything? Did you think about that?
Yeah, probably. So for sure, probably. I like me personally, like if you guys have partners and they drop off, then you guys have 7 days to go in and actually replace that partner. But from my perspective, yeah, if I lose partners and it's up to me to replace them, it's going to be just a look and see, you know, hey, how much do I need the revenue? I probably don't need it because I'm overfunded right now. So for me, yeah, sure, I don't have any problem increasing the price because I personally think this opportunity is worth more than $1,000 a month myself.
Well, yeah, because I'm looking at it as, especially in the second or third in the community or the other group, do we need to get those filled in more? Do we need more in those, or are we good with those?
Just the community, all right? The community membership is $97 a month, and that is the main thing. Now, you guys do get, these are the one things that you guys just can't sell and keep 100% of the money. You guys do get commission on these at 70%. If you're an Inner Circle member, you get 70% commission on these sales, and this is a very vital piece for us because these guys test all the usability of our software. These guys actually ensure that whenever we finally push the software out to the market, that once it hits the market, our market understands how to use it because it's been tried and tested over and over and over again by these guys. That's their job. That's their function. That's why they get $800, $900, $1,000 worth of software. That's why they get a 90% discount because they serve that function for us, all right? There's a forefront. We release a new software, they go test it and say, did this work? Did this not work? Did I understand how to use it? Did I not understand how to use it? They're throwing ideals out there like, it would be great if we could do this. It would be great if we have this feature. It would be great if we had that feature. So us as partners, you as partners all have access to that group as well, where you can look and we can evaluate all their feedback and decide, okay, these guys are making sense over here. They're saying we need to build this feature and functionality out. Let's build this feature and functionality out. But those guys are meant to be our real workhorses so that the partners don't really have to do much other than be partners and pay a little bit of money. So that definitely needs to be filled up because, like I said, they are our keys. The community, that community is our key to riches. All right. The partnership is like the fuel that drives our vehicle so that we can actually get to riches. But these guys are the key to the car to get. I mean, the car can't go anywhere without the fuel, and you guys are the fuel inside the vehicle. But in order for that car to get somewhere, you got to have a key, you got to start the fucker up, and you got to have somebody to get in there and drive. That's those guys. Those guys are the actual key to get us to the promised land because they do all our real work for us.
So let's say if you have people already on a 6 software package and they're paying monthly, to upsell them to a community membership, their benefit is they get access to all future softwares. Correct. They don't get a Zapier account though, right?
They don't get a Zapier account. They do get access to all the future softwares that come out, and they do also get access to the community, which gives them more advanced training. It gives them some more the supportive community. It gives them abilities to actually go in there and network with other people, meet other people, get, work with people on strategies. You got some guy right now, and he's just paying, and even it's actually to your benefit. If you got some guy paying you $37 a month, and you upgrade him to a community membership, you just almost doubled the amount of money that you're making off of that guy. And now you don't have to do so much support to that guy. Now that guy doesn't have to come to you and say, let's say, how do I do this? How do I do that? Go to the community, and you're going to find people who are doing the same thing, and ask them and get help from them.
Yeah, John, this is an important point that. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Finish up.
No, I was just want to say that, I was just looking for ways to leverage, getting them into the community. Of course, access to all future softwares is one, but if there's nothing there yet, then really their benefit is just being in the community at this point.
Sure. Well, your other leverage is to not sell a bundle of softwares for $37 a month. That's your other leverage. Your other leverage is to be like, hey, text in bulk costs you $97 a month. Your other leverage is, look, you can buy text in bulk, the $297 plan. I'll give it to you for 30%. I'll give it to you for $87. RoboContact, the $297 plan, I'll give it to you for 50%, right? $150. So their incentive at that point becomes, well, you can get access to all the softwares at a lower price point. That obviously doesn't make that much sense to you if you're selling them RoboContact for $150 to downgrade them to $97 and only be making $67. That doesn't make a lot of personal incentive to you as an individual, but there's a huge incentive for us as a partnership because we need those people to be our workforces.
Just to make the point a little bit more obvious, I think, for folks, some of the people that I've been talking to, John, they didn't realize that when they sell the software themselves through their personal accounts, the pack that they're getting as an agency, that they thought people would be added to the community, and they're not. So essentially, they get the software, but they don't get a community. You would have to provide them your own community at that point if you want to provide them some kind of support over and above what's included in the chatbot within each product, right? So even from that perspective, once I think Inner Circle members have been able to meet their 300 or whatever their personal goal is in terms of that monthly threshold, beyond that, I think it's to their benefit, quite over and above the company's benefit, to bring them into Inner Circles, just so they don't have to be worrying about where these people are going to get the support. The point that you just made, John. But some of the folks that I had spoken to, they were not clear on that initially. They didn't realize that when they sell a piece of software where they keep 100%, that those people do not belong to any community unless they create their own.
That's correct. The community itself is a membership. It is a paid thing. It's a membership. You buy software, it does not get you into the community because it is a paid thing. So you guys add whatever accounts that you want, but I'm not giving those dudes access to. How do they get access to the community? I go check Stripe and I see that they're on a community membership plan. And if they're on a community membership plan, they can get access to the community. If not, they don't.
I think it'd be easier to sell people that than anything.
It is for sure.
Right, and that's John's point, right? Because you can even show them the current price list for all the products, and it shows that there's a broad range up to $297 a piece, right? And even if you're offering them, as John said, a personal discount for just the software, where it's at a 30% or whatever, some other significant discount off the retail pricing, it's still not as inexpensive as saying, and you're going to get them all, current and future softwares for a flat of $97 a month, and it includes the entire community support. The counterpoint, however, is that people coming in at that level, they are as well on their end being willing members on the beta side. They're going to participate in giving feedback and being proactive as far as helping the software become even better. So it's not just a discount. I mean, no one's going to be enforced to do that, right? We're not going to obligate people to really give their feedback. but that is the trade-off. So from in their perspective, it's not $97 because the software is not worth more. The software is worth $900 and more, right? But for people who are willing to take that beta tester type of role, those folks we're going to be giving a $97 access to all the software.
So also the only way that they can promote Tier 5 software and get paid. The only way you can be an affiliate of Tier 5 software and not be a community member or a partner and get paid for your promotion is if you got a massive fucking list and you can come to me and say, hey, look, John, I can guarantee you 300 sales in a day. If you can't do that, if you're not some super affiliate that can guarantee me sales, well, then you don't get to promote my software and actually make money from it. If you want to get paid, then you have to be a community member. You can't sign up for an affiliate as an affiliate and promote Tier 5 software and get paid unless you're either a community member or, like I said, you're some super affiliate that can go in and actually make a shit ton of sales, where your $97 a month becomes real arbitrary to me because you're about to drop in $5,000 worth of sales revenue to me. I don't care about your $97 a month at that point. But if you're not one of those types of people, if it's going to take you 3 weeks to make your first sale, well, guess what? You got to pay to play.
In addition, John, just so everyone's clear, again, when someone is an Inner Circle member and they sell the software, they can't be thinking in terms of, I'll set up my own affiliate program with my free softwares, right? I'll sell this out to people and I'll build my own affiliate tier structure and then have them move my product for me. It's just for personal sales. You can't build a team below yourself as an IC and make money off of that. If you want to build a team, they have to go in on the community side.
That's correct. And you can do that, but you're not going to be able to do that very long because that is not the goal of this. Right now, it's not enforced because, like Ron said, don't fix stuff if it's not broken. But the goal of this is not for you, okay, hey, I've got these 1,000 accounts. I'm going to go get a bunch of affiliates. They're going to promote it. I'm going to get rich off of this opportunity. That's not how a partnership works. A partnership, people work together for a common goal, not just one person goes off and does whatever they want because they want to get rich on their own. Those type of people are not good people to be in this partnership. All right. So could you do that right now? Yeah, sure. But that's not going to last really long because at this point, everybody's in an observation mode, and that's not the goal here. The goal isn't for you to go in and get your own little team and make your $20,000 a month by reselling every software account that you have, and then the rest of the partners not actually see anything from that. That's not the goal. The reason that these accounts are there is literally for one single point, so that you guys can make your money back, so I don't have a financial burden over my head to wonder who's not going to be able to make their payment, because you have everything that you need to make that money back.
Well, it's a two-part here. I mean, if people want to make some of the money back to cover their monthly, and then also we need, like you said, the working horses in the community. Well, there you go. You get people to sign up that $97 a month, make a few bucks back to cover your monthly if you're worried about your monthly. Boom.
Well, if you get somebody to sign up for that $97 a month, you get $67 of that. I mean, you get $67 a month of that. So you still make money from that. So it's not like I'm going to not put people into the community because I'm not going to make money. You're still going to make money from that. If you're selling a software pack for $30 a month, you're actually better off to sell the community membership because you make twice as much money by selling that. And there's still money that goes into the kitty and you get more back on your revenue shares as well. And that actually helps us because we get more and more people in that community. Trust me, those community members, they'll make all our content for us. Those community members will fucking make our email scripts for us. They'll make our training videos for us. I mean, they'll literally do everything that we need done. The community members will fucking do that shit for us. They'll test our software. They'll be in there. They'll make all their use cases here, especially if we create a group kind of like ClickFunnels and we don't moderate it so heavily and we let people actually share their videos of what they're doing, they'll go in and create all the content that we need. Every use case that they could do for text in bulk, they'll go into the community and they'll post, hey, I did this, I did that. And then we can just consume up that content, and literally everything that we need is created and is done by those people. That's the whole point of having that community of people, is for them to do all our work for us, because we don't want to do any work.
And then they'll get access to any new software. So if you have a seventh one that comes out, they're not paying any more. They're paying their $97 a month. And guess what? They get a new software.
That's correct. And they can pitch ideals. They can say, hey, we want this. We'd like to have this. We'd like to have that. And we can use that as our little sub market to market validate all our stuff without having to interfere with the real market, which could cause harm to our brand. We have this little subset of a market that we can experiment with and it not actually hurt us whatsoever. So we can release the shitty software, we can build a shitty software, and we can release the shitty software, and it ends up being a shitty software that the market isn't going to accept. They're going to tell us right there before it actually hits the real market.
Nice, nice.
So we definitely need that filled up for sure.
Is there a limit for that?
Yeah, there's a limit. It's a pseudo limit, but obviously we don't want to have 10,000 users in the community. We don't want to have 100,000 users in that community because then we're taking away customers that we could have other places. So the limit, yeah, we need around 2,000, 4,000 people is what we need inside there so that we have a large enough pool of people that is a good enough market segment to market validate stuff. And I mean, if we release a new software and we have 4,000 people, then maybe 10 or 15% of them will actually go in and make the time to go use that new software and actually do all the testing in a time-effective way. We don't want to launch a new software and then have to wait 6 months to get enough feedback from users because we don't have enough users to go in and use that software and test it. So we need a large enough number where whenever we launch a new software, within 3-4 weeks, they can go in and test everything, find all the bugs, find all the usability issues. We can throw those back to the developers. Within 2 weeks, fix those, throw them back out to those guys. And within 2 months of releasing the software, we can have it perfected where it's actually ready to go to the market. And the market is going to accept it. And they're going to get to understand that, hey, when we buy a Tier 5 software, it's always perfect from the get-go. We don't buy a software that's not completely ready. And then we have these issues. Every time these dudes release a software, it's like they've already fucking tested it. Why? Because we have already tested it with those group of people.
Well, all you need is 5 people to do that. That's it. Each one of us needs 5 people. It'll cover you an extra $39 every month. So $339 for 5 people. Get 5 community members. That covers your monthly and $39 extra to go have a beer or two sitting in the bar.
For sure. And that's really what actually helps us out, is because, like I said, those community members are going to be creating a lot of content. Our FAQs, where does our FAQs come from? It comes from those community members asking questions. Well, how do we do this? How do we do this? Can we do this with this? Can we do that with that? How do we figure out what training videos that we need to make? Those community members go into the community and they say, well, I don't understand how to do this. Okay, well, let's make a training video on it. So it's a very, very important piece of the puzzle is to have that community filled up with people.
Well, I think that's the first thing that we should all concentrate on, is that first, before we even just try to go out, like you said, and try to sell an individual software and tell people about it. Give that one person that you want to give for $30 or whatever it is, tell them you'll give them 6 of them for $97. Boom. And then work on them and tell them, hey, test it, tell us, you get into the community, you get to do all that kind of shit. Good job.
We sponsor these meetings. I sponsor these meetings. That's part of what we'll do with those community funds, is if I can't use my charm and charisma to get people to come in and actually do trainings for us, I'll fucking pay them. It's nothing to me to go in and actually pay somebody $500 for a 2-hour training to that community, because it's $500 that that community member doesn't have to spend for that exact same training. And most of these guys will do that. Like if I tell Spencer, hey, look, your course is $800. I'll pay you $800. Just come give it to my group. Then he's going to be like, yes, because now he has an audience. He's getting paid for that. He has an audience there, and he is going to be under the impression, if I do a good job here, I'll be able to convert these guys. They'll come follow me. They'll get in my group, and they'll get in my little value ladder as well. And that saves all the community members from having to go out and acquire that shit on their own, like a group purchase. So I'll keep bringing in these guest speakers to come and talk to everybody. And that's another benefit of being able to be there in the community, is to get, if we don't have a guest speaker, then I spend my time with the community members every Friday on that meeting to go over whatever they want and whatever they need help with is what we do on that meeting. So that's another one of the benefits that they get for being in that community. So what else? Anything else you guys want to talk about or go over here?
I'm good for now. I want you to get back to building some more software.
Real quick, I got a question. Can RoboCopy or RoboContact, or is there any software that you have? Do you have something that can scrape any website for contact information?
Yeah, I mean, RoboContact can scrape any website you give it.
Okay, and can it pull back any information that you want it to pull back?
No, it's just going to pull back emails and social profiles.
Okay.
But all you got to do is you just can feed it a list of websites. If you give RoboContact a list of websites, then instead of doing your search through Google Businesses, you just, instead of doing a search, you upload a list of websites and it will go out and perform its process on that list of websites.
Okay, perfect.
What else?
I'm good for now. Next week, I'm sure we'll have more.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's been very helpful, John. Thank you.
So everybody's good? Anybody else have questions? No one else? Everybody's good?
The meeting's going to be this same time every week? Perfect. All right, cool.
If you guys want different meeting times, I have no problem doing different meeting times, because I'm awake like 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. All you have to do is go into the group and say, hey, make a poll or something for different times. And if there's enough people that want to go into those different time slots, then we can set meetings at those different times. I don't have any problem with that.
Jamie's asking in chat, who is the product or lead owner for RoboContact? For the moment, that's you, John, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Eric Axelrod, but he just isn't actually doing what he's supposed to do, so there's not anybody really there right now. Inner Circle members can be a product owner, but you have to know whenever you're a product owner, that's a job. There's a work involved in doing that. So there is compensation down the road that you get for being a product owner, but it is not just like a title that's slapped on you. Oh, I'm a product owner. There's work that's involved. You actually have to look at different softwares in the market. You're in charge of that product. You're in charge of actually making sure that the momentum and the way that product's going as far as development is something that the market's actually demanding and that you see in the market that they need, and to keep that product always competitive with the other players in the actual market, to work with the development team so that they know what things they should actually be building, how it should get built out, to make sure that we have the right content and the right design on the landing page. Regardless of whether you do it yourself or not, you're responsible for it getting done, to make sure that if we're going to bring in affiliates, that they have everything that they need to actually promote that product. So that's why you're called the product owner, because you're in charge of that product. If that product's not making money in the marketplace and I feel like yelling at somebody, if Text in Bulk is fucking losing users and they're jumping off and going to go buy some other software, I'm going to go yell at Dennis and I'm going to say, what the fuck are you doing with this product? Because you're in charge of it, so why is it failing? So you are essentially in charge of the product. That's why you get called a product owner. But you can apply to be one if you want to be one. But like I said, it's not just a title, it is a job. So nothing else? Everybody else is good? Yeah, someone else created those. Somebody else created those videos. It's on my list of things to do is to go in and actually recreate all the training videos. I just haven't had the time yet, but it is on my list of things to do, and I will be doing it. I will be doing it sometime probably this month, before this month is over, or at least by the end of the year. I'll be going in and actually replacing all those videos. So everybody else is good? All right, well, if you guys are good, I'm good. I will see you next week. If you have any questions or concerns, until then, we do have an awesome Facebook group. You can just post them in there. I would prefer any questions or concerns you have, you always post them in there first before you ping me in Messenger. That way somebody else can answer them, or whenever I answer them, other people can benefit from the answer.
Cool. Thanks, John. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, see you guys. Enjoy.
Bye.